up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his third year now at the helm of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. But I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
A first down throw for Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's got it to Hurns. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dak finding the former Jag Hurns for the Dallas first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
A first down carry by Elliott, pushing forward for
Why you run that way?
48.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
And with the play clock reading, 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Almost 9, ain't it?
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Prescott now on second down. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
First down, Prescott. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. This will be caught at about the 5. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. K1 short. Getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of its hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties.
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
2 years after leading the Panthers to the Super Bowl, he did get them back into the playoffs in 2017. Unfortunately, they fell in the first round. Just 206 yards passing per game, the lowest total of his career. But I think a lot of that was due to injuries on the offensive line and the lack of big-time weapons outside. The Panthers in the last 2 drafts, though, have tried to address that. Look for those numbers to climb up again for Cam Newton.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. But he's got it.
Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field, because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the pass in the running game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On second down, Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down. Out of the gun, Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run, Wilson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. He will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Devin Funches, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Cowboys offense. The wild optimism going into last season, of course, because they were coming off that 13-3 year, but they faded a bit last year as they dropped to a good but not great 9-7.
It's a good thing for Dallas. They play in a pretty volatile division, the NFC East. There hasn't been a repeat champion in the East since 2003, 2004, and that was Philadelphia, who currently holds the crown right now. But this is a Dallas team that I think has worked its way through some adversity. They've lost some key veteran players along the way the last 2 years. So the face of the franchise, actually the face is quarterback Dak Prescott. But to me, the guy who really makes them go, running back Ezekiel Elliott. If they get 16 out of him, expect Dallas to be in the thick of things. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the counter, Elliott. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to him on 1st down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
All right.
Prescott on 1st down. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A second down throw for Prescott. Gates has it over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage. Especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it'll be tipped up and picked off.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
We turn our attention to the Panthers as they come out here on offense, and it's been an interesting 3-year run. You look back to their Super Bowl appearance, then they dropped to 6-10 a couple of years ago. Last year back in the playoffs with 11 wins. So what in 2018?
I think a continuation of 2017 and an expansion on what we saw. It's always going to be a tough-minded team. They want to run the ball inside, and Cam Newton can be your short yardage runner as well as play the quarterback position and throw it. But they want to open things up. Remember, they drafted Christian McCaffrey last year, want to get him the ball in open space. They ended up drafting DJ Moore this year, so they want to be more explosive down the field throwing the football. And Luke Kuechly is a heck of a building block on defense. This is a team that fully expects to contend in the NFC South, and they think they can go much deeper in the playoffs.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. Airing it out for Hearns. This is caught inside the 15.
Touchdown!
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hearns, his first touchdown in a Cowboy uniform. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw